Ladies and gentlemen, my name is I'm not going to do a Paul Heyman. It's your boy Dre in the chair. Unfortunately, Byron couldn't make tonight's episode, but I'm holding it down for my good brother. This your boy Dre. I got the crew with me, Crevonte, Uncle Raj, and we got a special guest in the building for tonight's episode of the Flex Zone. My man, my brother, Shane from No BS Podcast.
What's good? What's poppin'?
He ain't special.
Are you doing the big trust with us? Like, I'm totally confused about what's going on. Episode 322 in the bag. You already know who I am. Byron calls me the head of the table, the backbone, the standard around here. I got Uncle Raj with me. I got my brother Crevonte. I got Shane. Man, we're going to get into a lot of great topics. We're going to start off first with a couple of people have had some top 10 lists recently, and we're going to compare these top 10 lists and wonder which ones we think is the best out of the three. So Peter King had a top 10 NFL teams.
Well, can we do a top 5?
Well,
top 10 is a lot.
I gotta go through the list, brother.
I'm just saying, we're not gonna do everybody's top 10.
Work with me,
brother. I mean, this Byron's not on the mic as you can see.
Obviously, it's different. Jesus Christ, we got a backup quarterback in. Jesus Christ.
Andre Huntley's in there. Okay, there you
go. Nevertheless, Peter King's top 10 NFL teams were the Green Bay Packers, the Arizona Cardinals, the New England Patriots, the Buffalo Bills, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Compared to that's his first five. He did have in his top 10 the Buccaneers, the Ravens, the Dallas Cowboys, the Rams, and the Tennessee Titans. Compared to Ryan Clark's top 5 AFC teams, which were the Patriots, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Titans, and the Colts. And then Emmanuel Ocho's top 5 AFC teams were the Patriots, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, and Colts. So out of Peter King, Ryan Clark, and Emmanuel Ocho, whose top list actually makes sense the most?
Again, that's what I was saying. Top 10. Everybody else has top 5. So why is Peter King's top 10 on it? Anyway, one, I like to say,
what up, man?
I like Emmanuel Ocho. I like how he supports the things that he says, similar to how I also like Colin Cowherd too. I just like how they explain how they support they're supporting details of what they're saying. But if I want to break down just Peter King's top 5, because that's all we're really doing. His Packers, Cardinals, Patriots, Bills, Chiefs, no, and no. I do not agree. And again, Brian Clark, Bills second, no. And Mayo Ocho, Bills fourth, no. I don't know how long ago this list was, but no. The Bills should be a no.
Well, this was like last week, so it varies.
Even last week, the Bills should not be nobody's top 5 right now. The Bills have no running game. It's Josh Allen the bust. I mean, it looks like they're using Josh Allen how the Ravens are using Lamar Jackson. Almost, it seems like that's what they're trying to do. But with them severely lacking a running game, it is severely like hurting them. Like they're on a losing streak right now because they can't pass the ball. Even during the game against the Patriots, when the win was an absolute factor, when like, yo, this is a running game, he still threw the ball 30 plus times. Shane, we talked about that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, even when the weather is against you, still forcing the pass. So, I mean, I don't want to go off a tangent on the Bills, but I just think nobody should have the Bills in their top 5. Other than that, top 5 is pretty cool. It's easy to say now because another week has passed, but I just want to say off first glance, no, Bills shouldn't be in nobody's top 5. But as far as who's closer to being right, I guess Peter King. But that's because we're talking about right now. Peter King with a slight edge.
Uncle Raj?
I'm with Peter King's list. The hell with Ryan Clark's. Although I like Emmanuel Ocho's list because he got the Ravens 3, but we don't deserve to be 3. But I mean, Peter King's is right on the money. I think Green Bay is number 1. Arizona is number 2. Shane's Patriots is number 3. I can't front. I said they were the best one of the best teams in the AFC about a couple weeks ago, and it's still ringing true. Mac Jones he's up there, man. He's doing his thing, man. And I think he's found another one. I think Belichick has found another guy to lean on. But Kansas City is coming on strong as well as but Buffalo is sliding a little bit. I mean, they don't deserve to be number 4 right now because they're sliding down the list. But Kansas City should at least be number 4. Tampa Bay should be number 5. The Ravens, number 7, they're sliding to. They shouldn't be on this list either. But I mean, he has the closest list so far right now as of last week. I'm pretty sure this week is going to change, but
I did that. It changed week to week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It changes.
I'm pretty sure the Ravens ain't going to be number 7 or Buffalo's going to be number 4.
No,
but
definitely not.
Definitely.
Like I said, Buffalo Bills shouldn't be in nobody's top 5.
Definitely not. But I mean, the list is okay. Tennessee should move up. Los Angeles Rams should move up. But everything on this list is okay so far for what I've seen.
Oh, and Shane?
So
yeah, hey mom, by the way.
So let me just, I'm looking at Peter King's list, and the one thing that's already jumping out at me, I don't know how Buffalo is still at that number 4 spot. They should definitely be I don't even think they're in the top 10 in my opinion. Because the problem that I've been watching with the Buffalo Bills is their defense can definitely be had because they're small, but they're very fast. And if you saw what the Patriots did, even though it was a windy game, they were pretty much beating them up 46 times we ran the football and had like 222 yards. That let me know right then and there they shouldn't. And they're not playing like the Bills of last season. But I like Green Bay at number 1. I think they're playing amazing football right now. Their defense is actually making plays. We saw what Devontae Adams did to the Bears last night. It was utterly stupid. Some of the things I was watching him do. The Cardinals should definitely be number 2, even though as we speak they're losing to the LA Rams. But it's a divisional game. But they showed that even with Kyler Murray being out of the lineup, they still could win football games. And that tells me that Cliff Kingsbury knows how to do the next man mentality. The Patriots, I'm going to say this about Mac Jones. At first, I did not like the kid. I'll just be honest because of the fact that I don't like Alabama quarterbacks. I just never have. I never really been sold on Alabama quarterbacks, but he happened to be the one that showed me that Alabama quarterbacks are actually pretty decent. And one thing I would say about Bill Belichick had 2 options. You can either go with Justin Fields or he's going to go with Mac. But he learned something from Scott Pioli. He used to be the GM for New England a long time ago, back in his early Super Bowl years. He said, you don't go to the draft, let the draft come to you. He knew that he can either get Justin or he's going to get Matt. But either way, he wasn't going to trade from where he was to get the quarterback that he wanted. He sat right at 15.
Hey, yo, look, your mom said.
Now I would have switched Kansas City to I think Kansas City would sit at 5, but I would definitely move Tampa Bay to number 4. Tampa Bay is actually playing decent football right now, and I feel like that's the only team that's going to pretty much stop the Packers.
I just wrote my list.
Yeah,
I have Tampa Bay and the Patriots interchangeable at 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But he literally just said my list. I literally just wrote it down.
Because Kansas City, I'm not going to knock them, but the thing about Kansas City right now, they started off extremely slow, and they just and their defense didn't really find their niche. Now it looks like their defense is finally getting after plays. They're actually getting after getting sacks. The Ravens, they are where they're supposed to be. Mainly because right now they're just decimated with injuries. I would have them ranked higher, but because they're decimated with injuries, I got to see what Coach Harbaugh is going to do. Dallas is an accident waiting to happen, so they're going to sit where they are at 8. LA, same thing at 9. Now, Tennessee, they're running their division. They're winning games that they're supposed to win, so I would definitely keep them at 10.
I think the Rams will probably move up after this week. Yeah. If they can hold on, I think they'll move up. Yeah. But I mean, pretty much Peter King, outside of the Bills being at 4.
Well, when I'm looking at Peter King's list, I got pretty much in almost in agreement with y'all. I got Green Bay, and Arizona, New England, Kansas City, the Bucks, and then the Titans right there coming at like 6. If we did an honorable mention, those would be the top teams to me. Comparing Ryan Clark's AFC list to Emmanuel Acho's, I think that I'm agree with Crevonte. I think that Emmanuel Acho pretty much got his list correct compared to Ryan Clark's. Like, I mean, the fact that the Ravens aren't in your top 5 despite everything compared to the Colts is like, come on.
It's absurd.
Like,
It's absurd. It's
absurd.
absurd.
I agree.
Now I'll agree with Emmanuel Acho. Like I said, this was a list that came out last week, but as we know in the NFL, things change from week to week.
Yeah, from week to week.
But pretty much Emmanuel Acho's Patriots, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, and then Colts. Yeah, I mean,
and then my Acho and Clark they did only do the AFC too. So,
yeah.
So
Exactly.
so that's fine. It's just that my whole thing, the thing that pops up to me is that the Bills shouldn't be on nobody's top 5.
But then when you look at Emmanuel Acho's, he doesn't have the Titans on his list compared to Ryan Clark, who doesn't have the Ravens. So
Right. So yeah, that's the give and take.
But I think all of us are in agreement. Peter King has
here's the best list.
Yeah, he is the best thus far.
And because he's Peter King.
Yeah,
And he's Peter King.
All right, so the Ravens are decimated with injuries, like we said. The biggest injury right now is Lamar Jackson. So he suffered a sprained ankle yesterday in a loss to the Cleveland Browns. We don't know how long Lamar will be out. We're hoping a week, maybe 2 at most. Raj, you're a Ravens fan. I'm gonna go to you first and ask you your thoughts about Lamar's injury.
Well. I actually did a video earlier today about Lamar.
Check it out.
So check it out.
Like, comment, subscribe. All that
Yes,
good stuff.
I did a quick little short. I was looking at John Harbaugh's press conference, and he pretty much said that Lamar Jackson has a low ankle sprain. It's not the high ankle sprain that everybody was looking for.
It's interesting. Nobody talks about the low ankle sprain.
But it was a low ankle sprain.
It's always high ankle sprain.
They were being very cautious with him yesterday. They put a boot on him. They made sure that they brought out the cart so he can roll his ass up on the field. but seriously though, it's a low ankle sprain. He probably be out. I think he's not going to play the Green Bay game right now. I'm just going to say that right now. He shouldn't be out there for Green Bay. They're going to jazz it up a little bit during the week. You know how Harbaugh is. He's going to make sure that he deflects. Like, look, I think Lamar's going to play.
Oh, you got to play that. Yes,
yeah,
you got to play that.
He's going to live it
Keep
up.
them guessing. Make them prepare for both.
But I think he'll miss the Green Bay game, and I think he might miss the Cincinnati Bengals game. But I mean, is it a devastating shock that he's hurt? No, because everybody's damn near hurt on this team. We done lost a whole bunch of players. Our offensive line sucks, and Lamar Jackson has been holding the ball, like crazy this season. Usually he gets the ball out of his hands a lot faster, but this season it just seems ever since they played the Dolphins, he's been playing terrible. So the fact that he is a low ankle sprain, I'm happy about, because I did not want to see him get a high ankle sprain. I didn't want to see him, tear his Achilles or anything like that. So this is a great thing for the Ravens. But I just want to say, I'm all right with the backup quarterback, Tyler Huntley. I'm okay with him right now. The way he played yesterday gave me a lot of hope for the rest of the season. But I think Lamar needs to take a couple of games off. He needs to get his head right. Sure. Because he's been struggling out there, and I mean, I want him to get healthy. I want him to get better, but we'll see what happens during the week. But I'm just glad it's not a high ankle sprain.
All right, correct. Shane.
Look, let me just say it like this. Everybody who knows me knows I love my Pats, but I love me some Lamar Jackson. But the problem that I've already see, that injury is gonna hurt, especially because right now the standings look. Yes, the Bengals lost, but it wasn't like they lost to a bum team. They played the 49ers. Now, granted, the 49ers got a quarterback carousel, but it wasn't like they lost to a bum squad.
Oh, no, I think they got together now. I don't think it's not carousel no more.
Yeah.
It's not carousel.
Yeah.
I hear you, Mark.
Right.
Okay.
And the problem that I already see right now is the Ravens cannot afford to lose any more games. They cannot afford to lose any more games because I hate to say it, at this point, you might end up in a situation where you definitely are going to interchange with the Cincinnati Bengals, and you don't want that because now you're going to be clawing your way to a wild card spot versus taking your division, and you don't want to end up in that space. And especially for the Ravens, because you at least need that home field advantage game. You need that game because of the fact that right now, with all the injuries you got, Marlon Humphrey being out, Jimmy Smith been out. I don't even know where he at right now. APB out on that fool.
No. He was in the hospital over the weekend. He just had a kid, so that's why he missed yesterday's game.
Okay, so
But I mean, even the last game he was in.
We didn't see him.
You didn't see him. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. Like he's MIA. You lose. There's too many injuries on that team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Because the offensive side of the ball, I mean, I hate to say it, if they get hurt, I'm not feeling that bad because none of them really do much except for the tight ends and Lamar Jackson. Because Rashad Bateman coming back, okay, that was cute. Congratulations. But what have you guys done for me lately? All I got to say is I do believe that Lamar can definitely get back on the field, but definitely not against Green Bay because that defense, like I said before, that defense is a lot better than they look than the stats shows on paper.
And they're not even fully healthy.
And they're not even fully healthy. That's the scary part about Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that defense is playing well and they're not even fully healthy yet. Now when they get healthy, have fun.
So let me
know how that goes.
So let me ask you this then. The Ravens' next games are the Packers, the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They still play the Steelers, and they do play the Bengals again. So which game should Lamar come back? Because you're saying that the Ravens are in a must-win position.
Okay, so
and you're not. To me, they're not beating the Packers.
Okay, they're not beating the Packers, and I really don't even want him to come back against the Rams. I really don't, because you see what 99 is doing. Yeah. It's actually stupid, actually. Yep. And then Von Miller, he's starting to click with him. He's starting to click. Yep. And you're asking Lamar to come back against 99 and number 40.
And Jalen should be back.
And Jalen will be back too. And you already know the receiver situation in Baltimore. The receiver situation we've been talking about. How many years have we been talking about?
Forever.
I think we've been talking about the receiver situation for years now.
I hear you, Mark.
They haven't yet.
Mark.
I wish Ozzie Newsome was still GM because the Ravens have not hit on receivers for a long time. And
granted,
when he didn't hit on
He didn't hit on
that. I think that's an organizational
hold
thing.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Time out. Whoa. So you don't like what you saw at the Bateman yesterday?
One game.
Well, my thing is he got to a slow start. It's not fair to compare right now for Bateman because he missed the first half of the season.
First six games.
So it's hard to determine. Like he's still trying to get acclimated to what's going on. And on top of that, we still talking about injuries. So it's kind of hard to really we see his potential, but it's hard to judge yay or nay right now.
Well, I think
I just don't want him to come back against the Rams because I can already foresee what's going to happen.
So you want him to set up
that game in Baltimore or is that?
It's here.
It's in Baltimore. Okay,
the last
three
out of
of
four
the
is
next
here.
4. Yeah.
Okay, so
who did y'all schedule?
Right,
the Packers.
Because I feel like all y'all had 4 straight games.
Yeah.
And now y'all got 3 of the last 4. Wow.
Because that's better than Green Bay.
Yo, what would Byron used to say? They home every week.
Because you have to really look at it. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, what's making me even more mad about that LA game is OBJ is clicking now. He's starting to click with Matt Stafford. And y'all ain't got no DBs to cover them receivers.
Wow.
Who's gonna cover?
Disagree.
Who's gonna cover Cooper Kupp? If you name me one, I'll wait.
Hey,
Anthony
they got the Cheeto.
Because Marlon Humphrey. Last time I checked, Marlon Humphrey out for the season.
That's fine. Anthony Avery's going to cover him.
They got the Cheetos. They got the Cheetos in the back.
Chris Westry's going to cover him as well.
They going to try to.
You know what?
I think they're going to try to.
God damn it! You know what? I have faith in my damn team. I'm going to say it right now. We're going to be fine. I think we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win at least 2 of these next 4 games.
You'll make the playoffs.
We're going to beat the Packers. We're beating the Packers on Sunday. I'm saying it right now. That's my
Is
bold
that a
prediction.
guarantee?
That is a damn
You
guarantee.
say it with your chest.
I'm saying it with my chest. We're
Yeah.
beating the
Let's
damn
go.
Packers. I seen a lot. Look.
Give us that Ray Lewis speech.
I was very, unhappy yesterday about yesterday's outcome.
Sure.
Especially, during the first half of the game. But during the second half, I was like, you know what? I believe in Tyler Huntley. I think Tyler Huntley can get it done. And you know what? The Green Bay is going to be overconfident. They're going to be like, oh, Lamar Jackson's not playing. Or we can just go into Baltimore and we can just whip their ass and leave. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to struggle.
So, Raj, here's what I have a problem with what you're saying.
Yes. What is your problem?
Green Bay, Green Bay last night? I know they thought the Bears were sweet, and unfortunately, it is. And unfortunately, what people have to remind people, as much as I don't like Matt LaFleur, him and Aaron Rodgers know how to adjust. Even though they thought that team was sweet, because let's be real, the Bears jumped on them.
The Bears jumped on them.
They
The
jumped on
Bears jumped on them early.
They did.
I thought, and we were all thinking like, "Oh snap, they probably gonna win this one."
But again, that's a divisional game. Again, that's a divisional game.
It's a divisional game.
Shut up.
Guess what ended up happening? 45.
Mark. Hey, Mark on the roll.
No.
But all right. So listen, we've been on this topic too long. We got some things to get to. But I just want to say the Ravens just got hit twice. Just got hit in the gut twice. Because now Lamar Jackson is going to miss some crucial games down the stretch. Yeah. And on top of that, he has an ankle sprain, which means that's going to affect what?
His running.
His running ability and the overall running game. So even when he comes back, even when he comes back, it's not going to be what it used to be.
But all right. So the next two games, if they're against the Packers and the Rams, you're skeptical about him coming against those two.
Well,
teams.
hold up. Is the Packers the Bengals than the Rams?
I say I'm skeptical about whenever he comes back because that's a downgrade.
Yeah, but when you have pass rushers like Green Bay and the Rams have, you kind of little fearful for old boy.
No, absolutely.
Because if we're gonna be honest, you don't want him to drop back. You really don't.
I mean, you're not gonna do that anyway because that's not where you are successful.
Well, he's not gonna be playing. It's gonna be Tyler Huntley.
He's not gonna play.
It's gonna be Tyler Huntley.
So,
and I have faith in him.
You know what though?
I have faith in him.
I'm with I think the Ravens.
He showed something yesterday.
He showed before that. He showed me something in that Bears game.
Sure.
He showed me something in the playoff game last year. Even though we still lost to the Bills, he stepped in and played well. If he would have threw it, a little more to the left to Marquise Brown, they probably would have been in the game. Probably would have won the game. But it was a couple throws that he missed. Yesterday and in some other games.
He can do some good things and he can get it done. I just don't think against the Packers or the Rams.
Yeah. So this is my thing. I'm with Raj. I think the Ravens can win 2 of the next 4 games.
Sure.
My thing is, and I do say it's possibly 3. I think they can beat the Rams. It's the Packers, which is the one I don't have to question.
You scared about? It's okay.
But the other ones, I think that they realize, look, we have to at least beat the Steelers and the Bengals.
Oh yeah. No, you're absolutely right. If you want to sit him against the 2 NFC teams.
And I said
and come ready for your division game because you need them. They mean more.
But I also said too, when we first did this, I said the Ravens will probably win at least 10 games and make the playoffs.
Okay.
And
it's still good. No, that can still hold true.
Right. I think that will hold true, actually.
Because you got to get the Steelers back. You got to get the Steelers back.
But we got to get the Bengals back
on GP. Yeah, but yes, absolutely.
So I think that,
but y'all threw that game away. But y'all threw that Steelers game away.
We did. But I think that that's a topic we definitely have to come back to is this Ravens wide receiver situation because definitely we have. I think Mark's on point. I don't think we've ever drafted a Pro Bowl receiver. When you think about it, even
it's going to be Bateman. Watch, it's going to be Bateman.
I believe it. I believe it.
But anyway,
the
Ravens need to see more.
Okay, the Ravens speaking of injuries. We brought up Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a key injury as well.
Yes.
Because that's not only are we missing a star on offense, but now we're missing a star on defense.
Yeah.
Which was our last person in the secondary. So
yeah, man. When I saw that last week, we watched it together. We saw it last week. I was devastated, man. I didn't know he got hurt. I was like, really? He tore his bicep? I
And
was
it was
like,
a freak accident.
I was like, really? I mean, the same thing happened to Deshaun Elliott too in the game. But I mean, it sucks that he's not going to be playing. But he has been struggling a lot this year because he's missing his boy Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters took a lot of heat off of him and let him do a lot more roaming around. He played a lot in the slot last year as well. But I mean, it sucks that he's out. But I mean, our team, like I said, is just decimated with injuries left and right. So it doesn't surprise me that he got hurt or that he's out for the season.
I think everybody who knows me knows I love DBs. I play DB. Crevonte, you play DB as well.
Yep.
And one of the things that I when I see guys like Marlon Humphrey, Tavon Young, Marcus Peters go down, I think I said this at the beginning of the season.
Alexander.
Yeah, right. I know. But one of the things that I've always said about this Ravens secondary, I said this team would easily have the best secondary in the league if they just stayed healthy.
Yeah,
if they stay healthy,
I agree.
They're the number one secondary in the NFL. Period. And I love my Pats because our secondary is
pretty good too.
It's pretty good.
And the Packers secondary is good.
And the Packers secondary is good too. But I honestly felt like the Ravens would have had the number one secondary if they just stayed healthy. Because I hate to say it, when I see Marcus Peters, all I see is a pick machine.
Yeah.
And when I see Marlon on the other side, I see him just taking off that side. Ain't nobody throwing over there. And then Tavon, you put him in the slot. That's all bets is off.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's it. Now you got everything locked up. All you got to do is play your safeties deep ball. Then you ain't got to do nothing. Michelle. But now, unfortunately, these injuries, it keeps killing. And one thing I will give to John Harbaugh, as much as everybody who knows me knows I don't like the guy. I felt like you should have been gone a long time ago, but there. Lamar Jackson saved his job, but we're not going to go there.
No, you go there.
No, we don't have time. We don't have time.
He did.
We don't have time.
We don't have time. We can talk about that all day. But I do believe that John Harbaugh this season has done a better job at coaching because of the fact that he still got them in a winning situation, even with the injuries that they do have. I just want to see, can he overcome all of these injuries? And if he does, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be with Andre on that and be like, Coach of the Year, he should at least be in the conversation.
You got to tip his cap. You got to tip your cap.
Absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
If he overcomes it and gets to the playoff, I'd be like, you have to at least put him in the conversation.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson missing multiple games at this point. You know what I'm saying? Your star guy, you got stars on both sides of the ball, like you were saying, Dre, being out. Marlon Humphrey was like the last straw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least for the defense. On the defensive side, I feel like that was the last straw because, all right, you start off, Marcus Peters pretty much ain't played none of this shit, right? So it's like, all right, now Marlon Humphrey has to carry the load of like, you can't give up nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nobody on the other side to, like Roger saying, take pressure off. Because usually when you have dynamic corners such as these two, you got the guy who's going to take chances. You know what I'm saying? You know who he reminds me of, Shane? Asante Samuel. Guy, like, he take chances. Like, he'll sit on the route and take chances. But then you got to have another guy who's like a straight cover guy who would lock folks up. That's Marlon Humphrey. And Marcus Peters was like the guy he going to pick his spots and he going to make a big play. Now, obviously, the bad part is that he'll get burned a couple times, but you'll take that. But you'll take that because you know how good your defense is.
Right.
And so losing him and not losing this guy is really, really tough. But one thing I know is that, and by me being in the area for as long as I have been and watching football as long as I have, one thing I know about the Ravens will usually they find a way to overcome. The culture is really strong in Baltimore. And I'm a firm believer in the team takes on the culture of the city. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Really strong, tough, gritty, you know what I'm saying? In the trenches. Like I'll get in the foxhole with any of these brothers over there because they're tough and they get it done. They play football. So it's gonna be rough. They don't have the names anymore. But I think as far as the next man up, these young boys are gonna be ready. So you talking about Everett,
Chris Westry.
All these guys got to step up.
Tavon,
and if they played anything like I like the potential that I've seen like the guys before them, I think they'll be okay.
I thought they played well yesterday. Even though they came up short, I thought in the second half they shut down the Cleveland Browns. They held them to 17 points.
Yeah.
Except for when Holly had a fumble and it was a touchdown. But other than that, they held them to 17 points. Avery had a pick, and Westry had a couple of stupid calls, but he shouldn't have got called for it. But the referees were,
Anyway, officiating hasn't been great.
Yeah,
it has not been great.
Which is why, despite the injuries, next man up mentality, I think the Ravens will be fine, and I think that they're in a position to still, like I said, make a playoff push, possibly win the division, but at least they'll make the playoffs.
Sure.
But speaking of a team, trying to make a playoff push, but the Denver Broncos, the former wide receiver Demarius Thomas passes at the age of 33.
Mm-hmm.
Shane, I'm gonna start with your thoughts about that.
Oh my God. Okay, so I was at home. I get and I remember I woke up and my fiance, shout out to my lady Alethea, I love you, baby. It was something that really bothered me. When she showed me, she was like, "Baby, Demarius Thomas passed away," and I'm like, "What?" And I literally had a shocked look on my face. I'm like, "He did." Next thing you know, I see it go over my timeline, and the next thing you know, I'm like, "Wait, he was sick," and I'm like, "Wait, this man is only 33," but it goes back to what I always say. Just because, some of us are in our 30s, it's like, dang, you gotta go. You have to really take care of yourself. No matter what you do, and I wish, all I can do is pray for his family. He's going through a rough time right now. I know it's tough because, the one thing that everybody says about Demarius Thomas is his infectious smile. Sure. They say he's such a great guy. And that's what you want, when you leave this world. You got people just coming out of the woodworks. I'm talking about, Tim Tebow, Tom Brady,
Shannon Sharp.
You got so many people just saying, how great of a man he was. And it's like, dang, at the age of 33, like you left us. And it's like, I think for the Broncos family, you just say, dang, we have one of the best receivers in the league. And I said, I used to, what I used to do when I played Madden? I used to take, get rid of most of the receivers that I had with New England. I would take Megatron, Calvin Johnson, and I would put Demarius Thomas on the other side. It was freaky to think about how freak that was. Christ. You got two of the biggest receivers in the league, but they were the best receivers, and that's why Georgia Tech.
What did you, Miss Queen?
Hey, Miss Queen, thank you.
Hey, Miss Queen,
appreciate you.
Georgia Tech really knew what they were doing, and they finally actually. I don't know what they're going to do, but they did talk about retiring his jersey. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see what Georgia Tech does because he was like one of their greatest receivers.
Absolutely.
Between him and Megatron, they were the best receivers that Georgia Tech has ever had. And you saw how the kind of careers they had. Because ever since then, you haven't heard nothing about Georgia Tech ever since.
No.
Right.
No. Absolutely not.
We're gonna miss him. Definitely gonna miss him.
I heard a little bit of the backstory. I believe he got into a car accident some time ago,
2019, and
that caused seizures.
Yep.
And so he had trouble being alone because seizures just pop. We don't know when things like heart attacks, seizures, and things like that, they come. No, nobody. It's not planned. Nobody knows when that comes. So it's to the point where he couldn't even live alone. You know what I'm saying? And I believe the story is he had a seizure while he was showering. It's so very, very, very unfortunate. So it's it wasn't even necessarily a health thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was he had an accident that caused this. They caused this long-term effect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But so very tragic. Young age of 33. Yeah. One of the greatest. He had one of the greatest stretches of a wide receiver. I want to say his first 4 years. Yeah. He had a stretch that rivals probably any wide receiver in the league, in league history. And then, once he got with Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? It just
didn't he make the infamous catch from Tim Tebow?
Yes.
Yep.
He did.
Yep.
And it was
Yep.
because of that catch.
And yep.
And I'll never forget that play too, because it was in overtime. Pittsburgh had tied it up, and I'm sitting here like, I swear, if he finds Demarius Thomas and he just threw it up, let him go get it.
The bum threw it to him.
The bomb threw it to him.
Hey, wait a minute. We're not going to be on this show
All right,
and
man.
disrespect
All
the
right,
greatness
all right.
of Tim Tebow.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, because he threw it.
That
How
walk-on
many passes did he
touchdown?
complete that day?
Like
three.
Like
Three.
three.
And
That
that
third
third
one, that third one was like a 15, was like a 10-yard pass that he took 88 yards.
You know what? Rest in peace to Demarius Thomas for helping solidify the greatness of Tim Tebow.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe you did this in a segment. I can't believe you did this. He was a great guy. He done a lot in the community and for the Broncos organization.
You see what Marcus said?
I'm not looking at the comments.
He's a winner.
He's
I'm not entertaining Mark right now.
Come on, Mark.
I'm not entertaining Mark right now.
Yes, Mark.
The Broncos, I thought the Broncos did a great thing yesterday to commemorate him. He has a spot on the field, and every time the Broncos did something, they ran right over to that because he even meant something to the young boys in that organization. So really rough, really rough loss.
Yeah, because they were saying that even up until his death, he was still coming into the Broncos locker room.
Oh yeah.
Talking to the receivers and telling them like how to play in this league. Because like all those years in Denver, I used to couldn't stand that dude because it's like, yo, he's gonna burn my corners. Like that's just what he did.
And he was very consistent.
Very consistent.
Man.
He was consistent. And it's crazy because I remember when he went to New England, I was like, yo, if we get him, we could actually make some runs. But unfortunately, at that time, we had so many receivers that like we couldn't really use him the way we wanted to use him. And then he ended his career, unfortunately, with the New York Jets.
Yeah, one of the worst teams in
the worst team in all of.
Were you here for our debate about top 5 teams that shouldn't be on TV? That was the Jets were right up there.
Yeah, they're a piece of trash.
Jets and Lions.
Yes.
Jets and Lions.
Well, let
close this.
But I'll tell you one thing though.
What's that?
There was a drive. I think it was when the Broncos got 31 points when they finally got the 31.
Talking about when Tebow was quarterback?
No. I'm talking about in this game this past Sunday. They actually had an 88-yard drive.
Yes.
How fitting was that?
I was like, yeah.
How fitting was that?
Very true.
88-yard drive.
Can't map it out any better.
Only thing that could be better is Tebow to him.
Well,
Roger, please.
Shut up. No, I just want to say this. I did a video on Demarius Thomas.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like his videos,
like everybody's videos on the Flex Zone podcast, the YouTube channel, doing big things. Please like the content on Facebook as well. Please like this video, and share it with your friends. Also, with Demarius Thomas though, I looked at some of his stats, and man, he was a bad boy, bro. I think in 2012 to 2016. He had over 1,000 yards every year. Played every single game in the NFL. Did not miss no games. He was an excellent wide receiver for real. And it's such a tragedy that this young brother, is gone at the age of 33. I mean, it's very young, very very sad situation. I hated the fact that he had to end his career with the New York Jets. They didn't deserve a guy like him on their team.
And I wish.
They didn't.
I wish. I know nobody hasn't spoken to him yet. I don't know if they spoke to him, but I know Rod Smith always admired that kid because he broke all of Rod's records. And Rod Smith, everybody knows, one of the greatest receivers to play this game, but he was the best Bronco that they've had outside of John Elway.
Yeah.
And I know Rod is probably at home right now, like, dang, like the young
life comes and goes, man.
Yeah.
It comes at you fast, man.
Yeah, it comes at you fast.
Life is like you said.
But he was able to he lived up to his potential, and he succeeded in the highest manner that anybody can.
Yeah. He had a good legacy.
He had a fantastic legacy. Super Bowl champion. Was he a 4-time Pro Bowler?
4-time Pro Bowler.
He was a hell of a player. He was a hell of a player.
You know what?
He's going to be missed.
Before we move on to our next segment, let's do a quick moment of silence for Demarius Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, rest in peace, good brother. We want to transition quickly to the NBA. So a few episodes ago on the Flex Zone, we discussed that NBA players that took the Johnson & Johnson vaccine at least 2 months ago were subject to game day testing starting December 1st if they did not receive the booster. Now the NBA sends a memo warning unvaccinated players about cross-border travel. Adrian Wojnarowski announces that the league informed teams that have unvaccinated players cannot travel to Toronto starting January 15th. Starting January 15th, the Raptors have a schedule against the Trailblazers on the 23rd, the Hornets on the 25th, the Heat on the 3rd of February, February 4th against the Hawks, and then February 12th against the Denver Nuggets. So what are you guys' thoughts about the NBA's policy on unvaccinated players and
Let me go
cross
first.
travel?
Let me go first.
Arizona got the onside kick, guys.
Okay, so
Arizona
let's.
got the onside
Okay,
kick.
so if we're
Thank
going
you
to be
for that,
honest about this for a second, first off, this is all coming out because of the fact that I don't know if everybody has saw this, but we all saw like 9 players on the Chicago Bulls.
10 players.
Oh, 10 now?
10.
Okay, so that number went up. So you got 10 players
From one team.
from one team that in COVID protocol, some of which tested positive. I don't know which ones yet, but some of which tested positive. And so now, here's the problem with that situation. How many players that you need to have in order to play a basketball game? You need at least 8.
Yeah, at least 8.
At least 8. You're already down 10. And even if you try to pull from your little D league, which ain't gonna happen in any time soon, probably not gonna happen. I'm just saying, like,
Because what, the NBA roster is total 15?
15,
yeah.
So
15
if
players.
if you depleted that many,
Like,
you already depleted that
You
man,
got barely a starting 5, and them guys don't play.
right? And they don't
so what are
play.
you gonna do? Have the same guys out? Hey, look, you take this Gatorade break.
Oh, get a sip. When they take a free throw, that's the only time you get a sip.
Exactly. I don't know what you're gonna do, but in the words of that lovely show on Amazon called Them, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because I'm sorry, you want to stop forfeiting games. You have to stop forfeiting games. You don't have a choice. Because you can't pull your D League players. Because even if you do, these guys don't have NBA experience yet.
True.
They don't.
No.
And you put them and I'm sorry, if you're gonna put them against Boston, Bucks, I don't even go so far as to say the darn Knicks. I don't even like the Knicks. But if you're telling me you're gonna put them D League players up against them teams, have fun with that. Let me know how that goes. I'll be over here.
So, Crevonte.
Like I said before, we're dealing with we're still in a pandemic. We're trying to operate as if we're not. I think that's part of the problem. So, and we're dealing with virus that's continuing to mutate and get bigger and possibly the Omarion variant. Yes. It is continuing to grow, and nobody has a handle on this. Even when it looks like the world, at least let me say this country, has a handle on it.
Never gonna end.
It's over. It's eventually going to be one of those things we have to live with, but we're still in the beginning stages. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody understands. We're trying our best to understand, but as we're trying to understand, it's getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now the NBA is trying their best, and as well as the other leagues are trying their best to like not kill anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants that. Because then if that happens, this is shut down. Ain't nobody making no money. We going back to shut down. And I'm not talking about like a Trump shutdown. I'm talking about, oh no, Arizona? Damn it. Yeah. But anyway, we're going back to that. Y'all remember when we was in the house and wasn't no sports on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to go back to that. That was a terrible time. Going through TV series in a day whole series in a day. It was bad. It was bad times.
Hey man,
Right.
But
it was a bad time, but it wasn't that bad.
I mean,
Thank you.
yes,
It wasn't
yes,
bad.
it wasn't all bad.
Raj,
It wasn't all bad.
Dre, do you know I talked to Dre probably more this pandemic than I probably talked to him
Ever in life since he known him.
Right. That's how much I was calling. I was calling Dre like probably actually every day. Now that I'm thinking about it, but I was like, it built our bond. I'm actually isn't blessed with that because our friendship is great. But that's not the point. I'm with Crevonte. We can't go back and live like
Listen,
that.
no sports, bro.
You know what?
Hey,
None?
hey,
You know what?
our numbers were up though.
You know, they were up. But you know what saved sports? Michael
Jordan.
Jeffrey Jordan.
That's
That
Well,
last dance
well,
documentary.
he needed to get ready to get another drop another one because
The last
the way things are going, I'm scared. But the NBA is also scared as why they're doing these goofy mandates. This is why this is happening. This I think it's goofy, but they're trying not to have the worst case scenario happen. So it's like, I get it. We do have a team in Canada. I get it. So I mean, at this point, do what you got to do and keep this
Well, also,
keep the money train.
Canada ain't playing that.
No,
Right.
Absolutely not.
Canada's not
Absolutely
playing.
not.
And we both been to Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
Just like
Don't you take your
they're
step.
very welcoming people. But with this goofiness going on, y'all stay over there, bro.
They're
Right.
welcome.
We'll see y'all from over here. Remember, y'all had Trump as a president. We still don't bang with y'all for that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
We see when we see.
we see when we see
See you. Right.
you know. But I get it, but it's goofy time, so I'm not surprised.
Well,
Anybody else want to take this?
I'll just say that I'm not surprised at the NBA for doing this. To be honest with you, they should just make everybody be vaccinated if that's the case. That way they won't have to come up with these type of rules. But what do I know? You know. But hey, I mean, is their league? Is their rules? If you're unvaccinated, I mean, hey, you can't play. So
Well, you know what?
it is what it is.
Well, that's the end of Kyrie Irving's career. Next.
Hey, man, listen, and I think Kyrie's fine with it.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he
And
will,
I think Kyrie's fine with it.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
he still ain't playing.
He still ain't playing.
Right.
And unfortunately, the Nets ain't going nowhere either. So with or without him, they weren't going.
Right.
Quickly, I want to get into LeBron James and
Facts.
the Los Angeles Lakers.
Exactly, Mark.
Exactly, Mark. You've been on the money tonight, man. Appreciate it.
You need to
Marcus
be,
on
matter of
the
fact,
money.
you need to be on a show one day. You need to be on a
Hey,
show
man,
one day.
come pull up a chair. Look, Shane's here. Look, you're more than welcome, brother. We want to talk about LeBron James. He said that the players have a better job to do when asked about criticism of Coach Frank Vogel, who at the time the Lakers were 500 entering their game against Boston this past Tuesday. They were in sixth place within the Western Conference under Frank Vogel's third year as head coach, who has guided the team to an NBA championship in his first year. And his record as of Tuesday was 106-61, which is a 6.35 winning percentage. And it's Frank Vogel is the eighth coach that LeBron James has had in his 19-year career. So, do the Lakers need to get rid of Frank Vogel, or do they need to keep Frank Vogel this season?
Let me take this one right now. This has nothing to do with Frank Vogel.
That's what I was gonna say.
This has everything to do with the players themselves. I watched them play against it wasn't the Magic or
Was it Thunder?
no, it wasn't the Thunder. It was, I forgot which team it was.
We done got
But
beat by
it's the same story every time. They go out there and they play no defense. They have no sense of urgency. It's like they don't give a damn. So to me, that's not on Frank Vogel. That's on guys like LeBron, Anthony Davis, who's supposed to be the best player on the team, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook. They have all these stars that's on this team, and none of them are playing defense effectively. I mean, what are they, 14-12 right now? And they're looking, and then you know what the funny thing is? They're actually trying to look for more talent. They're trying to trade for more people. Like, bruh, come on. I mean, how many people do you need on a team for them to actually be contenders? They have a contending team right now. They're missing Kendrick Nunn right now. Trevor Reeves is not playing right now, but they still have enough to have a better record than what they have right now. And that's what's extremely frustrating about this team. And now they're going to try to blame it on Frank Vogel? Are you serious? He's a defensive coach. He's the guy that you need on this damn team. And the whole thing is frustrating right now. I hope they get it together by Christmas. Well, it's almost Christmas time. I hope they get
that thing hit. Christmas is tomorrow at this point.
At least mid-January. At least get it together in mid-January.
All-Star break. Just say All-Star break.
Okay. All-Star break. Hopefully they find a way to get it together. But this is nonsense right now. I think Frank Vogel should not be fired. LeBron James need to gather troops up, and he needs to be the one that tells them, look, we need to play defense. Because from what I've been watching, they don't play no defense. And that's
I think they kind of sacrificed that,
right?
With who they've acquired. But it's always, you always got to judge coaches that LeBron James is on. Like the teams that LeBron James is on, you always got to judge them coaches a little bit differently because we know who's in charge.
Like, shout out to the coach.
Hey, Coach James.
You know what I'm saying? I think
or as D would call him, the guy from Akron.
The guy.
I forgot the comedian who started that, but those videos were forever.
Yo, Supreme Dream. But we know who's in charge. The way LeBron James teams are led is by LeBron James. They go as he goes. True. LeBron James is in his 19th year, still putting up crazy numbers for him to be in the league 19 years. But he has taken a step back. He is not who he used to be. He is still very dominant, still very much elite. But we see that he doesn't have it on both sides of the ball anymore. That's just what it is. If you want to be productive, we want him. The Lakers need LeBron to be productive on the offensive side.
Mark, you're terrible. Damn you right now with this nonsense.
Brother, I need to meet you one day.
Hey,
Mark. Hilarious.
So LeBron James, in his old age, along with the rest of the AARP game, they have to sacrifice themselves defensively for themselves offensively, because LeBron James is usually the point guard on most of his teams. Rajon Rondo's up there in age, so the older guys, and even if you play like pickup games, older guys really don't play defense like that because they're old. You know what I'm saying? They're old. Like they don't have the energy to put the same energy they put in offense. They don't have it to put in defense.
Right.
Otherwise, they won't last. And are you going to restrict LeBron James' minutes at this point? Exactly. Are you going to restrict Rajon Rondo's minutes? Are you going to restrict Westbrook's minutes? Are you going to restrict AD's minutes, who's actually the youngest one, the younger ones on the team?
That may actually be the problem. Westbrook.
Hey, he's one of them. He's one of the problems. He's not the. I don't think he's the problem. Nah, he's one of the problems. But yes, absolutely. But just to say fire Frank Vogel, that's not going to fix anything. And I mean, after all, he is a defensive coach. I mean, of all the people to listen to, you might want to listen to him. But they don't have the guys. They don't have the guys to play to be that defensive team you need them to be.
Like they were 2 years ago.
Hence why they were able to win the championship.
Like the Danny Greens of the world, and
you don't have the
Dwight Howard,
Dwight's there.
You had the size along with the defense.
Yeah, so it's not there.
And we traded Pope.
It's not there. So, and again, LeBron James teams go as they go.
Really, Byron.
Oh Lord.
Oh God, not the moist one. Jesus
Byron,
Christ.
Man, it's funny.
Jesus Christ.
We'll miss you, Byron.
Byron, we miss you. Please subscribe. Oh, you're already subscribed. I'm sorry. But like the damn video.
Hey, Shane, your thoughts about Frank Vogel and what's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers?
So all three of y'all hit the nail on the head. I am tired of people not just getting it. But I don't want to go that far to say that Russell Westbrook is the complete problem with the Lakers.
Because that'd be absurd to say.
Because that'd be kind of absurd to say, but I definitely want to say that he's the majority of the problem, because the problem that I've been seeing with the Lakers, and I've been saying this, I don't care who you got on your roster. The moment you brought him to that situation, you were not going to win. I don't care who you bring on the team. You should not have brought him on the team. You want to know why I'm saying this? Because look at the Washington Wizards. Why is it that they're winning more now than when they had Westbrook on the squad? You have to ask the question. The question has to be asked. You can't win with that guy. Period. I know a lot of people want to talk smack about Kevin Durant and that whole situation with the Warriors.
Yeah.
No. When you look at the whole picture, you cannot win with him. You can't. It's just facts.
I agree.
You cannot win with Russell Westbrook
I agree.
on your team. And it's not to say that he's not a great player, because he's absolutely a great player.
He is.
But the reason why you're not winning with him is because he's only cared about padding the heck of it in his stats. And that's it. And now you traded for this guy, and he's not even putting up the stats that he should be putting up.
And because he can't shoot.
That's his biggest problem.
And that to me is the most concerning thing that I have with the LA Lakers. And I'm happy for it because I'm a Celtics fan. I'm not happy the Lakers are not doing so well. But at the same token, if I want to see greatness on the basketball court, you're not going to win with Russell Westbrook. As long as he's on that team, I feel like the chemistry is not going to be there. Now, I'm not going to say he's a cancer, because that's going a little bit too far. I think that he actually genuinely wants to win with this team and working with LeBron. I see a different Westbrook personality wise as far as how he gels with the team, but he's still Russell Westbrook.
Good take.
Been saying it since the beginning, listen, I was not a fan of the Washington Wizards last year.
You were, you left the team.
It was documented. It's been documented. Like, yo, I'm not a fan this year because I hated the pick of Russell Westbrook. I hated it, and I was like, I'll come back when he leaves.
Wow.
And look at the Wizards now.
Doing great.
I'm
not gonna lie to you. I'm more afraid of the Wizards in the East right now than a lot of other teams, because you know why? They some sleepers, because Kuzma playing well. Beal playing Montrezl Harrell, dog.
And they still still missing two quality people.
And that's what I was just about to say. They are literally probably one or two superstars away for an NBA championship. Well, that's how good they are.
Well, thank you, Shane.
And they're young
for saying NBA champion, because when we're going to stay on the subject of LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ripped LeBron James over childish celebration dance, saying goats don't dance.
They boogie.
When criticizing LeBron for his big balls dance.
I'm not doing this with y'all.
Well, we don't have as much time because we got to get to the NFL real quick.
So quickly, everybody, their thoughts about the Hall of Famer saying his thoughts about LeBron.
Well, quickly, I'm gonna say this: he's correct. Okay, guys with big balls don't dance. Right? They don't. They don't gloat. They don't do none of that nonsense. They let everybody else tell them that they're great, and they just stay out of it. For LeBron to do what he does sometimes, I always just question him, like, bro, are you that sensitive, man? Well, we know that you're great. You don't got to tell us that you're great. We already know. But it's this generation's basketball players, and this is what Kevin Durant does and LeBron does, and it is what it is. Yeah. Go ahead,
Crevonte.
I get it. I think he's right. I think he's right too. It's just funny because it's like
LeBron said no comment.
I think he is on. I thought he was gonna give me something. He left this one alone. He said, "Big balls, I'm out."
That's what the dance is called. It's called big balls.
I feel like LeBron James, in him being up there in age, at least in basketball years, he's still trying to
be young.
Be with the young guys.
Trying to be young.
He's still trying.
So they call him the OG.
Is that so? He not acting as an OG, because I tell you, he out there doing the jangle dance. It didn't look good, and on top of that, y'all not winning.
No,
you know what I'm saying? This is not what the Lakers stand for. Like, even when the Lakers were great, I never saw this. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was Shaq,
Yeah.
Kobe.
Oh, dancing.
Dancing.
Oh, you did. You saw Mark Manson dance, but they were winning championships, though.
It's different.
I know.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to bring up the late great, but we know how he would rock.
Oh, he would look at him crazy.
Like, oh no, you got to go, player. Like you not it. Remember, he got Dwight Howard up out of there, and obviously talking about late great Kobe Bryant, but he got Dwight Howard up out of there. Told them boys that they was tissue.
Cottonelle
tissue. He
Right.
told them they was tissue.
The expensive kind.
You know what I'm saying? But they all do the same thing. It's just not. It's not Laker like. You know what I'm saying? It's not GOAT like. It's not Laker like. And Kareem would know. You know what I'm saying? But that's my piece for that.
I'm gonna say it like this, since he wanted to bring us the late great Kobe Bryant. If we're all gonna be honest, he would just treat LeBron like Kwame Brown, like, yo, son, you ain't getting the ball. You ain't getting the ball. So I don't even know why you practicing, bro. I don't even know why you practicing. You ain't getting the ball. Moving on.
All right, so stay tuned. Next week, we're going to get into a conversation about the Portland Trailblazers and their general manager, what's going on with Damian Lillard. So stay tuned, y'all, to the Flex Zone. Right now, we're going to get into the NFL real quick. Last week, the standings were D came in first place at 11-2. Byron came in second at 10-3, and then Unc and Crevonte, along with myself, were 9-4 for last week's picks. We're going to go through week 15 real quick.
Week 14, my good brother. Recap.
I'm sorry. Week 14, and I have to. There we go. Week 14. Pittsburgh loses to Minnesota. Baltimore loses to Cleveland. Tennessee beats Jacksonville. Kansas City mollywops the Raiders after a disrespectful logo.
Very disrespectful.
Logo chant or whatever they were doing.
Whatever they were doing.
Of course, the the New York Jets lose to the New Orleans Saints despite the injuries that they have. Dallas beats Washington. Carolina loses to Atlanta. Houston loses again. Doesn't matter who it is. Seattle beats them. Denver honors Demarius Thomas and beats another
dog
team.
Mess. The dog mess out of the Lions.
The Lions. The Chargers beat the New York Giants, and the 49ers beat the Bengals in overtime. Tampa Bay beats the Bills in overtime, and Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, of course, owns the Chicago Bears. And right now we have Monday Night Football.
Well, the game is over. The Rams won.
The Rams.
30-23.
The Rams.
They needed this one.
Me and Shane said that they were our team.
They needed. They absolutely needed this one, especially losing how they lost to the Cardinals before. They absolutely needed this one.
30-23 is final score.
But yeah. Am I gonna get my Washington segment or?
Quick.
Oh yeah, your WFT report. Here you go,
Spent a lot of time on the ratings.
Here you go, my brother.
Instead of the game ball, not so game ball, we'll just do our Washington.
Oh man, we ain't done it in like 2 weeks.
Fine.
I'll keep it. I'm gonna keep it brief. I'll try my best to keep it brief. It was our rivalry week. It was Dallas week. I was optimistic about this week until I saw the injury report. The Washington football team, along with many other teams, I have a lot of key injuries and a lot of key injuries on the offensive line. We picked a bad time to play the Dallas Cowboys because they were completely healthy. DeMarcus Lawrence was back. Randy Gregory was back. Micah Parsons, my heavens, Micah Parsons. He should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, like forget Rookie of the Year. He has that in the bag. He should be on the list to get some votes for Defensive Player of the Year. He's playing out of his mind right now. And our offensive line, we've gone through about 3 centers, guards switching up, having to be replaced due to injury. It was. I was optimistic about the game, but the better team won. We started off very, very shaky. Heineke, very, very shaky. And the offense as a whole, very, very shaky. And dare I say it, are the Dallas Cowboys led by their defense? Because I saw nothing from Dak. I saw nothing. You know what I'm saying? And granted, I didn't get a chance to see the entire game because I was traveling back from Florida. But I didn't see much from Dak. Dak threw 2 picks. And the last pick was so egregious and actually made the game look a lot closer than what it probably really was. But injuries, we've been dealing with it all year. I told y'all our offensive line has been doing amazing. But we got our ass whooped on up front. Got our ass whooped up front. And it was bad. It was basically bad from the word go. Taylor Heineke ended up getting injured. Cherry McLaurin ended up getting injured. So, you know, it was it was bad from the jump. And also Dallas did some really disrespectful stuff going into the game. But I kind of understand it. But Dallas took an opportunity and they ran with it. You know, I've been saying it before and I'll say it again. Our stadium is trash. I can't wait till they possibly move back to DC. But FedEx Field is trash.
I've been
there.
It is trash.
Absolutely. And I'm not gonna.
I was there when the sewage.
When I
was at that game.
Yeah.
I called you that day.
Yeah.
And I actually saw it physically, like sewage coming out of the suit. I was like, yo, that's disgusting.
And it was funny because it was back when they were playing like some shit. So that's appropriate. We also had some malfunction issues in the Seattle game as far as the bench warmers. So, and Seattle, because, you know, teams talk to teams. You know, the players don't really, but the front office talk to each other.
Right.
And the Seattle Seahawks was in communication with the Dallas Cowboys and told them, like, yeah, their bench warmers ain't all that. And it's going to be cold. 9 times it's going to be cold. So, you know, just a heads up. You got that coming. Jerry Jones had a bright idea. Hey, let's bring our own benches. and let's airmail them to FedEx Field so we can have proper bench warmers.
And you know, Jerry's got the capital.
And
to
Jerry has more than enough capital to do it. I was telling Shane, I think he probably put those benches on the jet by itself. The benches for their own flight.
He said, "Forget FedEx. I got it.
I got it." And I saw the benches. I was like, well, I thought it was very disrespectful, but it's like.
But to add insult to injury, they won the game.
And then they won the game. So it's like, they felt the need that they come in FedEx Field and do that to us because they could.
Yeah.
And I've told y'all about our fan base before. We have probably one of the weaker fan bases when it comes to the entire NFL because visitors come and take over our stadium all the time.
I don't even have a name.
Now we don't have a name, but we did have a name. Folks still did it.
Right.
I've seen Chicago Bears fans come take over. I've seen San Francisco 49er fans come and take over.
Now, I think the worst was when I saw Steeler fans take over that stadium. That's when I knew. I was like, wait, there are more Steelers fans at this game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. But that's the culture. That's the culture that's been coming. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but I'm just trying to wrap it up. But that's the culture. That's part of Ron Rivera's job as the head coach, trying to switch the culture. And I think he's doing a great job for the time he's been there so far. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of work to be done. And partially we have problems in the front office as well. But we've been putting a trash product on the field for so long. You asking fans to come out? Why? Why should we come out?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But that winning helps. Winning cures everything, and we have to do that. But needless to say, the Cowboys thought they'd come out to do that because they could, and they did, and they succeeded. I had nothing to say. They were the better team on Sunday, and we'll get another crack at them, but I'm not optimistic because the injuries are piling up.
All right. So quickly, I'll go to you. Who's your game ball, not so game ball?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh man, listen. The not so game ball. Let me take a quick gander. Oh, not so game with the Raiders. The hell are you doing? What are you doing? Like, why? What was the point of that? Like, what warranted you bringing the whole team to the middle of the field at an Arrowhead Stadium
in Patrick Mahomes' house?
And Patrick, what?
His grade.
Like, did you forget that you're playing the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes? Like, is it because they're not as good as they were last year, or they don't seem as good?
Yeah.
And but on top of that, y'all on a losing streak.
Same Raiders. Always after Thanksgiving, they just plummet.
Always doing just goofiness. Like why? What warranted that? And everybody was okay with it. And you severely got your ass handed to you.
Yes, he did. Yes, they did.
Severely?
Yes, they did.
And that's what y'all deserve.
You know what I kept saying when I first saw that? I said, this team, forget being cooked, they got broiled.
Yeah,
like, that's how bad.
They was on the stove.
Broiled.
They was on the stove inside. They was on top of the stove, inside the stove, under the stove. They was everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my that's a game ball. My game ball. I ain't gonna hold you. Michael Parsons, man.
Jesus.
Michael Parsons. My heavens, what he was everywhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't do nothing with him.
Not a damn
And
thing.
on top of that, offensive line was hurt. I was like, oh, he's gonna have a field day.
You know what's crazy? You know who I compare him to? Even though he had a short NFL career, he reminds me a lot of Patrick Willis. That's what he reminds me of. Because I watch his game, and I've seen a lot of fast linebackers, but fast linebackers that are big, and the only one that came to my mind was Patrick Willis. Because Patrick Willis, when he came in the league, little do everybody know, he used to run a 4.38 when he was at Ole Miss. Then when he got to the league, he actually put his hamstring in the combine and only ran a 4.4. But then
only ran a
4.4. And then when he gets to the NFL, you see the kind of career he had. This man had 1,000 tackles by year 6, 7. It was ridiculous. And Micah Parsons, I believe, is most certainly on his way there. This is an amazing first year for any defensive player, not even just linebacker,
not even just rookie,
just player.
He's crazy.
Shane, let's get your game ball, not some game ball.
Oh man, listen. If I had to say, I'm gonna roll with my Pats on this one because nobody thought that the Patriots was gonna beat Buffalo. Nobody thought that, and because of that, that's why I had to give that. Now the not so game ball, definitely the Raiders. I have to go with the same thing. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand something. Okay, first off, you lost your head coach.
True.
You lost your head coach because we found out he wasn't just a racist. He was a sexist. He was everything. He was just the worst.
Everything.
He was the worst human being on planet Earth.
And note that he's currently suing the NFL.
And he's going to win.
Probably. Because he know the bodies are buried too.
He does. They're going to settle. They're going to settle. They're going to have a settlement.
So
I'm sure.
He'll get a settlement. He'll get a nice little package. So
on top of his $100 million.
On top of his $100 million, right? He'll get a little package.
Only in America.
Right.
Only
in America.
Yeah, man. You got to. Sometimes you got to be.
But what bothers me is the fact that you're going to go on their logo and quote unquote pray on the logo in the middle of Patrick Mahomes' crib when the Chiefs are red hot right now. It's not
y'all cold as ice.
And y'all cold as ice. You have no pass rush.
None.
You have no corners.
None.
You have no D line.
I mean, we saw.
You have nothing.
We saw. They didn't go to the third quarter.
And your best player happens to be the running back who happened to fumble for a fumble 6. I'm trying to piece all of that together.
No, that's the Raiders.
Bro.
That's the Raiders.
That's the Raiders.
No matter if they're in Oakland or
But
Vegas,
you know what
that's
it is?
the Raiders.
But you know, now I can see. I think it got worse when they got to Vegas.
I'm sure.
You know what it is? Because as soon as they got to Vegas, they started acting a fool.
They
started acting a fool since they've been in Vegas. And they thought that everybody was sweet, because I hate this about the Raiders. They start off good, and then for some odd reason, they find a way to start screwing up.
It's the Raiders.
And don't worry, I'm pretty sure because, this is a 17-game season now, so they ain't going to be no more 8-8.
It's going to be either you lose a team or you win a team. You lose a team or you win a team.
It'll be 8-9. But let me go real quickly. My game ball goes to the Packers and Rodgers, man. That brother is special, even with a broken toe. He still can go. He still throws 4 touchdowns. And destroys the Chicago Bears. So he gets my game ball.
The team that he owns.
Yeah, the team that he owns, and he's going to probably own for real
one
one day.
Stockton now?
He should.
Was that a rumor? Was that a rumor? Was that real?
That was a rumor that was started.
And watch he really do it.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers will really do some stuff.
Discount double toe does it again. But My not so game ball has to go to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh,
Come on, man!
really?
For the second
Jack that
straight
off.
week,
Jack that off.
you had a chance to get first place in this division in an AFC North, and you blew it against the San Francisco 49ers. Come on, guys.
They jacked that off. They jacked that off.
They blew
But
it.
the 49ers aren't
But you know
what?
what?
They blew the game.
The 49ers ain't no slouch.
But not
I
only
know,
that,
but still.
the Bengals, since that victory against the Ravens, they have been on a roller coaster.
down.
You don't know
Yep.
which Bengals team.
And now they're just going this way. They're going down. And everybody's saying that, oh yeah, they're going to win a division. I don't see it. I think they continue to slide down. Joe Burrow is trying his best, to keep the team afloat, but they got to get it together, man. I mean, they should have beat the 49ers yesterday. They came all the way back, took them to overtime, and they still lost the game.
But see, they dig their hole.
Right.
They
Exactly.
continue.
Yeah, they
to
do the
that.
same thing. They
But
do the
that's
same thing we do.
You know what?
They go home.
They may have legit reached their peak against the Ravens because they heard for so long that they were trash against the Ravens, and then
maybe
that may have been. You know how it is. Some teams, that's your game.
Yeah.
And after that, it's like
we won a Super Bowl.
But anyway, those are my game balls.
Quickly, I'm gonna say my game ball. Well, no, I'm gonna do like Crevonte. Start low. The Carolina Panthers. I don't know what's going on because Cam Newton went from I'm back to now I don't know what.
I'm in and out.
I mean, but that's a sharp brother. When he gets to that podium, I'll be like, damn, I think Cam gonna win this week. Because like Dion said, those outfits he be wearing, those are game-winning outfits. Even the jacket was like the white jacket.
The white jacket was cool. When he wore
the hat?
Yes, it was hot. That was hot. But we seen Cam Newton in some ridiculous stuff too.
Yes,
So there's that.
I think the main issue with the Panthers though is just the fact that Cam Newton, he don't know how to play, bro. And on top of that, I like their receivers, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I watched DJ Moore play at University of Maryland when I used to cover Maryland games. So, but again, Cam once again messed himself up. He messed himself up.
How do you think Cam messed himself up?
Because he didn't take the vaccine. I'm just being 100. Like, everybody knows why he got cut in New England. He didn't get cut in New England because he wasn't good. He got cut in New England because he didn't take the vaccine. Now, Belichick can't publicly say that because he can be sued.
I'm about to say that's
you would know better than
what's
us.
Going on with the
Urban
Meyer.
Right,
and that's a dysfunctional team right there too.
It is, but again, we all know the real reason why he got cut. And I hate to say it. It made it easier for Mac Jones because it was like, well, I hate to say it, you ain't taking the vaccine, you're now a liability.
Right.
And on top of that, because when Cam gave that crap about his aura, first off, Cam, let's just be real for a second. It had nothing to do with your aura. It had to do everything with the fact that you did not take the vaccine. Now, I know you wasn't going to say it against Belichick because you like the guy, so I knew you wasn't going to say that. But we all know the real reason why you got cut, bro. And then now, you took the vaccine, and look what happened. Now, every team in the league is calling.
Right.
It wasn't like it was just a few teams. There was a few teams that wanted Cam.
Yeah.
As soon as he took that vaccine. As soon as he took it, look who called. Next thing you know, how you going to come in and straight jack Sam Donald's job? Straight jack.
I mean, he was hurt. He was hurt.
He was hurt.
Yeah, he was
and
hurt.
He was trash.
But he wasn't playing well either.
He wasn't playing well either. Like,
but right now,
the dude saw the boogeyman again.
He's seen ghosts. That's right. Yeah, but I mean, shoot, Carolina ain't going nowhere, and I hate it because I told Crevonte. I remember Boomer Esiason saying on CBS, he was saying that he was like the Panthers ain't going nowhere, even after Cam won that game, and he proved them right.
Yeah.
What's your game ball?
So my game ball is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
You already know what. So I ain't gotta say nothing about the tribal chief. Let's quickly go through these picks. Week 15, Chargers, Chiefs. Who you got?
Chiefs.
Tribal Chiefs. Everybody.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Raiders and Browns. I'm gonna roll with the
Browns.
I'm rolling with the Vegas Raiders.
That's cool.
New England Colts.
New England.
Buffalo, Carolina. Buffalo.
Must win.
That's a must win.
Arizona Lions.
Arizona.
Miami.
Dallas.
Giants. Washington, Philly.
I'm going Philly.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I need to see the injury report.
I can get that. Tennessee, Pittsburgh. Oh, I'm gonna roll with Tennessee.
I'm rolling with Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
Jacksonville, Houston.
Ew.
I'm going with Houston.
Houston.
Okay.
I'm going with Houston, man.
I want to roll with the Jags.
Jacksonville.
I want to roll with the Jags.
I'm gonna roll with the Jags,
Urban
too.
Liar, huh?
I'm gonna roll with the Jags.
Okay.
They may actually circle around him for once.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence may not throw 4 picks this week.
Bengals, Broncos.
Y'all were rooted that.
Cold game.
Oh, I hate that game. Oh, the Broncos and the Bengals.
But the game's in Denver. I'm gonna roll with the Broncos.
I'm going
gonna roll with the Broncos too. Yeah.
I'm going with Denver as well.
I'm going with Cincinnati.
Okay.
Atlanta 49ers.
San Fran, like
49ers.
what? That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Chargers, Seahawks, Rams.
Rams.
Yep.
The
Rams.
Rams.
Because, and especially since Seattle's playing
Hold-
in LA.
Before you say this next game, let me pose real quick. Go ahead, say it.
What, the Rams?
No, the next game.
game. B Moore versus the Packers.
Put your chest
I'm
out.
going with the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, brother.
I say with my
I'm
chest.
tempted to think with him that this could be an upset game.
It's gonna
There's
be
one
a-
every week,
Yeah,
and
it's
we
gonna
know
be
this in the NFL.
It's gonna be one because they're gonna win.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
The upset would be Seattle.
Right, that would be the upset.
That would be the upset.
That would be the upset.
Y'all don't think that the Baltimore and Packers would be a
Why would that be an upset?
Because Lamar
the
Jackson
injuries?
not playing.
Yeah, and
That'd be the
all the
biggest reason.
injuries compared to Green
No,
Bay. That's hot.
They might mess around and be like a 9-10 point favorite.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So-
you can't. The Ravens. It's not like they're a bad team. It's just injury.
Nah, this would be an upset because Lamar Jackson not playing.
He's not gonna play.
Right.
So if the Ravens were to win, it is an upset.
It is an upset.
But
But I
I'm
think
not
the bigger
picking
of the
them,
two
though.
upsets would definitely be Seattle. Because Seattle, there's almost no way they should win that game.
But that's a divisional game, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can win that game. So
But if I'm gonna choose somebody, I'm definitely gonna choose. See, the thing is, I don't like Aaron Rodgers on the road.
I'm going with Tampa Bay
I
too.
know I shouldn't do this. I'm gonna roll with Raj. I'm
Oh,
gonna roll
are
with
you
the
now?
Ravens.
All right.
I usually don't do that, but I'm gonna explain why. Because I don't like Aaron Rodgers on the road. I don't. I don't like him on the road when he goes to see them AFC North teams. Because for some reason, when he plays AFC North, it never ends well for him.
That's true.
When he plays the NFC North, of course, he'll run through his division. But when he plays the AFC North, he don't like seeing Pittsburgh.
No.
He doesn't like seeing. He really don't like seeing them.
No.
He really don't
I'm
like
about to say,
seeing
because I
Baltimore.
think the last time
We
he
beat
played
him.
him, we beat him.
We
Y'all
beat
beat him. Yeah, he don't like seeing Baltimore. So I'm gonna actually go with the Ravens in this one because I just have that feeling the Ravens might just happen to show up in this game. And I ain't gonna lie, if they beat the Packers, then they don't really have to have Lamar back for the Rams game
Or the Bengals game.
or the Bengals game. And you'll still win the division. And you'll still win your division.
At this point, if Huntley looks like he did, besides the fumbles yesterday,
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Don't you start a quarterback controversy?
No, not that.
Oh,
No, hell
that's
no,
not gonna happen.
hell no. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that.
Because
I'm
some
saying-
people are saying that.
No, I'm
I
not
don't
one of
know,
those people. You already know me. I don't do that. I'll just say it's going to be curtains for whoever we play next, which will be the Bengals,
Oh, we gotta choose New Orleans or Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, and Minnesota.
All right, brother Crevonte, close us out, brother.
Hey man, listen. Is it time?
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me do
Is that
your
time?
intro.
Oh, great. Goodness. Where is D when you need him? Welcome, guys. Welcome to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the world what I thought was goofy this week. And I think I have two. One's extremely goofy, and I think one is a low-level goofy. You know, I don't have many of those. And I'm speaking of low-level goofy and high-level goofy, I have Falcon Red and New York Green.
New York Jet.
New York Jet Green.
There you go.
New
Say it
York
right.
Jet Green is low,
Yes.
and Falcon Red is high.
There you go.
All right, so this one comes from this one comes courtesy of the Twitter,
The Twitter.
as D would say. I just need this ring to be on. So this is a video of a Washington football team fan. All right, let me start this over. Are we ready? Let me see. I have a video. I have two videos.
Oh my God, bro, you're wild.
Are you serious right now?
That is goofy.
One more time. I want you to look at the TV. Bro, you're wildin', right?
Whoa.
Right?
Wait, what game was that?
That was Sunday. Washington and Dallas.
Oh.
So, anyway, I want y'all to notice that I played it twice, but I want y'all to notice that just the front part came off the TV. I wanted y'all to notice that because I don't know if y'all saw them colors in the back. That must be from one of those TVs with the big butts that you sit on the living room floor. That the big dumb TVs. You know what I'm saying? He had one of them TVs, but the first little layer came off.
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting. It was all flammy and just
weird.
Like he's done this before. You know what I'm saying? So the next video, which I think is very, very funny. All right. He's putting it back together, guys. Look, it's tape. That's tape. He's taping it. You see that? You see that?
Oh, Sway.
Oh my goodness.
He made it work though.
He made it work.
And as we said at the end of the video, he said it still works.
Duct
Which
tape.
leads me to believe that he's done this before. That's how he knew how to fix it. Goofy knocks his TV out every week.
Oh my God. Calling Dr. Drew. You
Jesus.
stupid, Mark.
Anyway, that was a Washington football team fan that went a little too far, or maybe that's what he does normally. Who knows? I just thought he hit that TV a little easy.
He did. Sure
But anyway, brother needs a new TV anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's need to hit on there. That is my first Goofy of the week. And my second one, it's gonna go to a team that's in the southern region. They call it Duval County. Jacksonville. That is. The Jaguars.
First, that's where you messed up already.
Jaguars, okay. They have a coach. Yeah, y'all are familiar with the head coach there.
Mm-hmm.
His name is
Urban Liar.
Mr. Urban Liar.
what is it? What do you call
Urban Liar. That's his name.
Urban Liar.
or Mr. Urban Liar. Urban Meyer. I think his days are numbered.
You think?
And it's tough to say, and I hate judging rookie head coaches off of 1 year, not even a complete 1 year. I hate doing that, but it looks really, really bad right now for him. He's obviously finding it hard to adjust to the pros. Because obviously running a college program versus a NFL team is vastly different. You know what I'm saying? One, we're dealing with kids or young men, as you would like to put, versus grown men with kids that may be in college. It's vastly different. In running a college football program, you run everything. Mm-hmm. And once you made a name for yourself, which he did before coming to Ohio State, you know, once the AD hires you, you really don't talk to the AD too much after that. He runs you run the football program as you see fit. And you've shown to be successful because you've done what you've done at Ohio State at a number of other places. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, control seems to be an issue here, guys. And he's finding it hard to, I guess, try to control grown men like they're grown men with families, like, and make real money. So it's like the things you say to kids at a college program, you can't say to these adults in the pros because they bounce back. We're talking like these are the jobs and livelihoods that we're talking about. You, this hot shot, you know, coach, college coach, and coming in there and trying to run things, and you need to be able to, you know, manage personalities, characters, and be able to lead these gentlemen. not have press conferences where you're blaming people and pointing fingers.
Right.
You're the last person that should be pointing fingers. And I could get it to a degree. He's not used to losing the way he's losing now. I mean, in college, especially at Ohio State, the most he lost is a game or two, a season, a game or two.
And Mark, I agree with you on that. Tony Khan should be running the Jaguars as well as AEW. So I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I knew he was going to say.
And he's not having a good go at it, but it's his fault because he's one like I said, he's not used to losing, and he's not used to managing characters. He's not used to managing men. He's used to managing young men who are trying to ascend, who are they're still moldable, and they're trying to go to the next level. So they're going to listen to you because you put a bunch of players in the NFL. So these young men are going to listen to you because they want to reach the NFL. These guys in the NFL, they made it. They here, baby. They here. They making money. You can't talk to them in your kind of way.
You really can't.
And you can't point fingers because as a head coach, you are the last person that should be pointing fingers. You want to point the finger at somebody, is you. You're running this program. You're running it like a program, and it's actually $1 billion organization. Yeah. But you're running it like it's a college program, and you're finding it difficult. One, you're not used to losing, but also I don't think he's used to answering to other people. Because when you're a head coach in college, you run everything from the coaching staff to the kids, and everybody's gonna listen to you.
And the only person you really answer to is the athletic director, who really doesn't care.
Who doesn't care because he got you. The athletic director is about his job. You bring Urban Meyer, you're set. As long as Urban Meyer's here, I'm good. We only got to talk. But in the pros, you have a GM, you have owners, you have ownership to answer to when you lose.
And now all they expect is results.
They need results, and you need to have an explanation why you look like trash. And your explanation can't be, because we got leaks and moles in the program, in the organization, and they will be fired like quickly or immediately. Nobody trying to hear that. Nobody trying to hear that, bro.
His words was they will be unemployed.
They will be unemployed
in seconds.
They'll be unemployed in seconds. Bro. I was like, bro, you don't even know who it is
because
nobody trusts you. I don't know if y'all know, but there's been reports that it's like, him and the Jaguars are at odds. Yeah. Now I don't know if that means the players or if that means the front office. It's probably both. But then again, honestly.
But then again, it's an issue because you don't know if this is a true source or this is fake news,
bro.
And it don't matter either way because it got released.
because it got out.
Because
your shit not tight.
Yeah, it's an internal issue.
But what bothers me is even though it may have been even if it was fake news, the problem is he confirmed it. That's the issue. And now, and the fact that he confirmed it, it's not fake news anymore. It's out.
But my thing is when things like that come out, they're usually true.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually when things get leaked, more often than not, it's true.
They just try to cover it up.
But you try to cover it up, but it got out.
It's
too late, got out. And on top of that, you're supposed to be this offensive
guru.
And Trevor Lawrence looks like trash.
Out of all the quarterbacks this year, Trevor Lawrence is the least talked about.
Nobody. Zach Wilson honestly is only getting talked because he's in New York.
Right.
But
Justin Fields, he's struggling, but he's talked about more.
But you see progress. You see progress. Like in Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and even in Zach Wilson, we see a little bit of progress. But Trevor Lawrence is like, he just got him out there.
I'm the number one, but I'm playing like number 5.
And again, neither one of these, both of these are rookies that are not used to losing, neither one of them. But they got to get together on some things. But on top of that, there's a rift. There's a rift in the locker room because I don't know if y'all know or not, but y'all know he benched James Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all because he fumbled in that one game.
But Trevor Lawrence came out. When I came out, I bet he's probably asked. But like, I need my guy.
Right.
I need my guy out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think what's the difference between situations you gotta keep in mind. Justin Fields, he's in a situation where his head coach was supposed to be this offensive guru, and he's obviously not performing. But he's doing what he can with what he got. Trevor, on the other hand, he went to an organization that was already losing and was just straight up trash. At least the Bears actually made the playoffs a few years ago. It wasn't like they were complete trash. They just needed a quarterback to kind of get them over the hump. But Nagy, I don't think he's going to be there much longer. I
think it's over this year. I think it's over this year. I think
it's fair to say that it's probably over.
Probably.
But with Urban Meyer, on the other hand, homie, you were supposed to come in and really completely change everything.
You're supposed to be a culture changer,
but
you didn't,
and you're not. But you're struggling because as a head coach, you have to manage everybody, not just who you want and how you want. But anyway. He's finding it difficult, and those are my goofies of the week. Urban Meyer is getting Falcon Red. It's Falcon Red this week, baby. And that brother, that Washington, my fellow fan, who destroyed his TV and put it back together, which makes it funny and makes it low-level green because his TV is still good. Big Unk. Big Unk, that's who he was. Those are my goofies of the week. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and those brothers are on the wrong end of it. I gotta do better, man. Got to do better.
Well, we thank y'all for tuning in. Next week, I think we are going to definitely get into that conversation about the Portland Trailblazers general manager, Damian Lillard, and we might also get into this discussion about either the Ravens wide receivers or dysfunctional organizations. You never know what you're going to hear on the Flex Zone. Make sure y'all continue to tune in. Thank you, Knowledge, for helping us out back there. We appreciate you.
Appreciate that, Mark.
Thank you, Shane. Thank every last one of y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Wait a minute, hold up. I got some announcements real quick.
Okay.
Hold up. I'll let you finish up, then I'll say what I have to say.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we're on Twitter now as well at the Flex Zone 1. So I just saw that we're on Twitter as well as YouTube and Facebook. So please, if you want to see us on Twitter, we're at the Flex Zone 1. You can tap in with us on there. We're on YouTube, the Flex Zone Podcast. Please subscribe. Tell a friend. We're trying to grow this channel and grow the show to be even better, than what it is. Also, we're on Facebook as well. Pretty much the home of the Flex Zone since I've been, on the show. And of course, like and subscribe to that as well. But of course, Shane, glad you came on the show, my good friend. It was a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
You have any lasting remarks before we close out?
Jesus Christ, I don't like it. Turn up. End the show. End the show now.
Look. All I got to say is, I just want to do this just to make him mad right now. Jesus. How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?
I told you in the show. I knew he was gonna be on some goofiness. I knew it.
Nah, but on a real note, guys, thank you for definitely having me on the show.
Anytime, brother.
Everybody knows I've been having some ups and downs, but I'm about to get married next year.
Mm-hmm.
Next year is going to be a new year for me because I'll be finally restarting my show.
Oh, and you have your shirt on. And I got the shirt.
Yes. No BS.
No BS, no holds barred sports talk show. Please check me out because I cover everything. Basketball, football, NASCAR.
I mean, this brother even NASCAR.
Right? Yeah, NASCAR. I mean, look, man. We only have, everybody who knows me know I'm all about tracking our black athletes. And NASCAR right now, we only have one, and that's Bubba Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually did pretty well this year. He actually had some good runs this year, and he actually did pretty well. But, we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, look, on behalf of Shane, we thank you again. D, Byron, brothers, we miss you too. So on behalf of Crevonte, Roger, myself, we gone. Peace.
Out of here. Peace.
Come back next week, y'all.
Did we